I cannot believe we bought a brand new RV and it's already falling apart.
We're still paying for it, actually.
What's up, everybody? My name is Trey and this is my fiance Jessica, and in recent weeks, for whatever reason, one way or another, things have just not gone our way. For those of you who do not know, we live in an RV and we travel around the States 2 weeks at a time.
The first few months of the honeymoon phase was excellent.
But almost 7 months in, it's apparent that it's over. So where should we start?
About a couple weeks ago. The slides.
We were bringing in the slides and damn near lost our island in our kitchen. As we were packing up the inside of the RV, apparently we didn't shake things properly as we were bringing in the slides, and one of our suitcases that we normally put our work gear in was coming in and crushed the base of the island itself, and it took us about an hour or two just to get that back in good standing so we could just move on to the next spot. And that happened right as we were about to head on to our next place, wouldn't it?
Yeah, literally. I mean, I watched it just come apart.
A little more recently, I busted the back glass out of the truck, and this happened while I was trying to make too tight of a turn. I think the term for it is called the jackknife turn, and where the trailer and the truck just kind of met at the very back glass and busted everything. And I thought I was a pretty good driver, but about a $400 lesson later, I realized that is not the case.
You are. Don't say that.
Yeah, thanks for the consoling.
But that's not all. Tell them what happened a few days ago.
So fast forward to now, when we got to the place that we're at now, we're in a beautiful place, Pacific City, Oregon, and our first travel day went smoothly. When we got to Pacific City, as you know, Oregon may have some rough roads getting to places, getting to the coastal towns, and as we were setting up, I was doing my thing on the outside and Jess was on the inside, and as she was unpacking the fridge, tell them what you found.
I'm freaking out, trying to figure out what happened, and as I looked, one of the shelves that we had was just completely smashed. Lesson to be learned, it was a little bit of negligence on my part. We recently purchased like 5 bottles of juice that
It was for me.
were still filled to the brim, so they were pretty heavy, and I just figured it was sitting low enough, but unfortunately not as low as it could have gone.
Or it needed to be.
And it was just too much weight to support, so it unfortunately gave out. And I'm pretty sure it happened right as we were arriving, because there were so many potholes, so many bumps along the road, and it must have just smashed. So I had to clean all of that up. And what happened under the sink?
So there is a shelf up under the sink that you can put stuff on, and it actually covers up the wiries. That's where our breaker box is for everything. It just caved in, like it just gave out. We've had issues with it before, but it just finally just caved out, and that was kind of the mounting pressure there. Like we've already had the past few weeks going for us that was going bad. We had the breaking glass, and now the shelf that was up under the sink just completely fell apart.
But as you went outside to finish up, I just wanted to kind of rinse off a few things, and as I turned on the water, I start hearing dripping underneath the sink, and I freak out because the shelf was already just falling apart, and all of those cables. So I immediately opened up the cabinet, and come to find out the pipe had like somehow disconnected from the sink, and just water everywhere. Thankfully, it didn't get on the cables. I don't know what I would have done if it would have gotten on the cables and something would have gotten damaged.
We would have cried in a hotel.
I think I would have had a tantrum at that point. I would have had my meltdown. But thankfully, that did not happen. We were able to just stick the pipe back in there and tighten it up. But it's just something to be more mindful of. Make sure that that's tightened up or it hasn't loosened up in recent travels when we arrive at our new spots. But it was the cherry on top.
I guess we're just gonna have to eat out all the time because apparently our fridge cannot handle the stress of having all of those items in there.
Okay, listen, wait. We don't have to eat all the time. You're just, again, a little dramatic.
I have to eat sometimes.
Yes, all the time, but the issue is not the refrigerator. It's just making sure that I package everything accordingly and make sure that a lot of the heavier items go in the bottom drawer. But even then, we are really good about buying 2 weeks worth of groceries whenever we get to our destination. And when our 2 weeks are up, all of that food inside of the refrigerator is typically gone. This recent time, you decided to go to the grocery store a little earlier and got all of those bottles of juice, which typically we don't do. We were staying at a hip camp at the time, and he ran out of juice. He didn't want to wait until the selected grocery date, which is fine, but it was negligence on my part. I should have made sure that the bottles were in the bottom drawer. I learned my lesson. It won't happen again. It can't happen again because I don't have that many shelves left. And they're not too cheap. They're about what, 200 bucks a shelf?
They're about 50 to 80 bucks a shelf, or the one that we broke in specific, but there are other components in that fridge that's about a good 150, 175 bucks.
Well, there is another, the actual drawer, those are about $200, and one's cracking up on us.
Sorry, I'm gonna brighten you guys up here. So let's go ahead and there we go. I think we're more making this video as like a venting session to you guys. Thank you guys for being our therapist for this session because we've recently been going through it. It's been back-to-back weekends of just stuff going wrong, stuff breaking, or just unexpected things happening.
Well, see, yes, and it's just really taught us to just be a little bit more mindful, down to even having a pair of shoes stolen from us just today.
My best and only pair of Birks was stolen from us
on... Did you throw your other ones away?
But other than that, everything's great. Everything's still working. The at least chassis, all the important components of the RV is functioning well. It's just the little small cosmetic things that are seemingly annoying us right now, I would say.
Say with a little more enthusiasm.
They're annoying us right
Not
now.
That part.
But no, thank you guys for letting us vent to you. It hadn't been a rough couple of weeks, and like things have, we didn't flip over a rig, so that's always a plus. But it's just been a little few annoying things that we didn't expect, things that didn't come up that we were planning for, and a few surprises.
All that to say is, in spite of everything that's happened, we're still out here, we're still having a good time, but I think we're well deserved for some fun. What are we doing tomorrow?
So tomorrow, we are gonna go check out more of Pacific City. We're gonna go check out Tillamook and a few lighthouses maybe. So I've heard they're around here, heard there's some world-renowned beaches in here. It's supposed to rain a little bit, but that's not gonna stop us. And guys, we will see you in the next adventure. Again, thank you for allowing us to vent to you guys today. That's all this session was for, and we will see you in the next adventure. Peace, much love.